best sex I've ever had.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, it makes sense for me because that was you were my first just now.
Yeah, right.
Oh, was I really that good?
Was that really your first?
Yes, it was.
You were this tranquil cheetah. I mean,
It
I
so like a house cat.
look at these claw marks.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it was just I was feeling it. You
I
can't
mean,
help it.
feeling it is like the understatement of the year. I feel like I'm a new man.
Mm.
That was your first time and you're 34.
Eh, Okay, well, you don't need to like bring up that point. I
I
don't know.
just
Doesn't
I just feel like the world has been missing out. I mean, you just offered like this feels like peace on earth. I've never felt it this at home in my own body. I feel like I'm melting.
well, that's very flattering. Thank you.
I think this is your calling.
Oh, that to have sex with people?
At least with me.
Okay.
You're good
I
at
can't tell
this.
whether or not I can't tell whether or not to be flattered by you or not because you keep
I
going
mean,
back and forth.
I've had a lot of sex, let me tell you.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is hands down the best.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like at one moment you're very
Oh,
flattering. You're giving me some great compliments, and then other moments you're bringing up pretty inappropriate stuff about how I'm 34 and this is my first time and how I should.
I just mean you fooled me. I thought
Fooled
you
you?
I thought you knew what you were doing. You know what you're doing somehow.
Thank you. I mean, I took a sex ed class when I was in the sixth grade.
They taught you that?
Well, no, they taught me like like how it works. They didn't tell me like I don't know. Like we were just vibing with each other. I just did what I felt like I thought would be fun in the moment, and then
Let me ask you,
you responded. Okay,
how did you know that I liked dark chocolate?
it's chocolate. I don't know.
Huh?
I offered you chocolate and you accepted it.
No woman has ever done that before.
No woman has ever offered you chocolate
In
before.
the middle of coitus? No.
Oh, I can see why it would be weird in the middle of coitus. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
remarkable.
It was. Well, I don't know. We were burning a lot of calories, getting a lot of energy in there. I just felt like maybe we could use a snack. That's why I had a whole bag of Lay's potato chips.
I'm ready to go again.
I'm ready for some more potato chips. See? Feels like the end of
See?
it. Yeah, felt like a good time.
Ew, they're so gross.
These two people are so weird. I loved your character, man. That was cracking. That was it. Really did. It felt like you were going back and forth between like saying something very rude and very nice at the same time.
Thanks.
Didn't know how to feel. Yeah, it's fun.
There's like all those like intimate moments between people that we don't get to see because we don't get to spy on people's lives. But you know that
Mhm.
people are just so freaky when they're in their own homes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's got that one thing where they're like, no one else should know this. Did well. This is where I almost broke at the beginning too, because classic. What we were talking about with the last scene, the improv brain and everything clicking, just with that weird like, and this is why I always like to initiate silently because there was that awkwardness kind of vibe, but it wasn't quite awkward. Like we were like checking in with each other. It felt intentional, but didn't feel like, oh, this sucked and stuff. And like my first thought was, okay, I just lost my virginity, but I don't know. We'll see what Dan has to say. And you were like, that was the best sex of my life. I was like, of course. Absolutely. So
Interesting, because it felt like a reach for me to make. It felt like a little bit of a well. I'm just gonna like set it on this path, based on obviously the energy that was there. But
Yeah.
I think my intention in all of these scenes has been to like hope that you're going to initiate, because uh, I always just try and do like the opposite of my habits whenever I always give, like I try to remain aware of what I usually do, and then I try and force myself to do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And I
I
usually
think
am like
that's
an aggressive initiator.
yeah. I think that can be helpful with this, and like when you're practicing to kind of give you some new tools under your belt, but ultimately like there are things that you do habitually that are very, very well, and what make you the improviser that you are. And so I wouldn't try and like totally stop doing those things because you're good at them.
Yeah.
There's not as much of this breaking it down, but one of my favorite things to do was always to go to like was a Third Stop, was that the name of the bar by the clubhouse? What was that called?
Oh, I
Fort
know. The one we
Fort
always went to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
I
that was
don't.
down the
Yeah.
street. I never learned the name of it because we all just walked over there.
Me either.
Like it's right there, so I just walked through the door and then was like, I have no idea what that's called.
Right. And
But
that was a bar I would never go to, like without like improv friends, just because
oh yeah, I'm
not my
not. Yeah,
scene.
I'm. No, it's not. It's loud. There's a lot of music. There's a lot of people there and stuff, and that's not my vibe at all. And what's funny is I feel like that's like most improvisers that I
Yeah,
know.
like whose vibe is that? That's an
Whose vibe is
improviser.
that? Yeah, I don't know. I think part of it too is that I just naturally kind of like get sucked into the people that are like me because I don't like to go to like even before the pandemic, I did not like to go to crowded places with a lot of people that was loud because I like this. I like to talk to people and uh yeah, in particular when I get to break stuff down, especially improv. It's really nice. But that was always some of my favorite moments was, we'd all go to the local or we'd all go to our shows and then come together and break them down and chat about all of our
Yeah.
favorite improvisers and why they are our favorites and what they're good at.
Yeah. And I think like improvisers are just so open-minded people, such open-minded people that you can bring up like any subject in history and someone will be like, yeah, I could see it that way, or I could see it this way. And you can genuinely like talk about it in a way that's like
Oh yeah.
explorative.
Oh yeah. It's very true. Because like with Katie and Devon on Work Friends and stuff, like they were all, like it was nice because I could be very open about like my faith because I'm a Christian, and I don't want to be one of those Christians that's like throwing my Christianity down people's throats or anything like that. But Devon and Katie were always like open to talking about it, and they would talk to me about my beliefs and stuff, and it never felt like a judgment thing. It never felt like they were trying to trap me into stuff because you get that sometimes. But at the same token, it was like it went both ways because I love to hear about like what they believed in and stuff. Like probably one of the hardest times I've ever laughed just in a conversation, but was talking to Katie about how she, when she has kids, she'll probably end up being Jewish, is what she said. Because, yeah,